Would you look at this? This is Saturday, March 12th. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it is snowing. And the wind is blowing pretty fierce. 20 to 30 miles an hour or more. We had about an inch of rain this morning. And then it turned colder, and now we've got snow. And then I think in 3 days it's going to be 60 degrees. The wind is blowing so hard, it was moving the carport. It hasn't been anchored back down yet. I had to set a pallet of wood pellets on the side so that carport wouldn't blow any further. And it's down to about 30 degrees and it's cold. I've been here doing my shift at the hardware store today. It's time to go home and put my feet up and have an adult beverage. It's campaign season. This piece of property that I bought is a great location for campaign signs. I'm going to clean it up and make room for my own campaign sign. I've got the tractor here with the front end loader and the bush hog on here. Now that sign that's up there now, I did not give that guy permission to put that sign up. I'm going to take it down and I'll give him a call and we'll figure this out. Now he is currently our state's attorney. His office did help me, or tried to help me with my issues with the health department. His office did not prosecute me, hence the reason it went to the state, because the local state's attorney would not prosecute this case. So I'm going to get in here and try to clean it up some. I've got a couple of people running for office that have already asked me about putting a sign up here, so I told them let me come in and do some cleaning up first, and then we'll talk politics. I have run into a little bit of mud back here. It must be a place where some water is draining right into here. You know, this is the perfect spot where cars who are not paying attention come off of the intersection here and they don't stop and they run up on the ditch here. And I'm seeing a lot of car parts back here in the woods from people not stopping and running up in here. And of course there's a lot of old signposts and different things from signs being put up here. Here's a car part right here, it looks like. Yep, somebody's mirror there. What the hell is this? Oh, that's an old sign of some type. So I'm trying to get back towards this area and clean up on this side. And so recently a car came off the intersection there and ran up here, knocked this sign down. I just flipped it back up. See, here's a car part right here. You can see where the brush is smashed down there. So I'm trying to get all of this cleared out. The problem is I can't get the bush hog through here because there's not enough room between the sign and the post. And I can't come in on the other side because I would cross somebody else's property line. So I think I'm gonna bring the tractor through here without the bush hog and try to push some of this stuff up. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to clean this area up. Number one, to make it look good. This is your first impression when you arrive in Ridge. So I would like to make it look halfway decent. And as I said, make it a nice place for people to put their campaign signs up. Oh man, that's not good for tires. That's an old metal signpost. And I've got a bunch of old cut up telephone poles to do something with. This sign, I guess, was recently, well, in the last 5 years, I guess, put up. And I guess they just cut the old telephone poles that were here and just threw them up underneath of here. But I'm gonna try to clean all of this mess up as well. This side wasn't too bad. I've got this side cleaned up, bush hogged decently. I'm just kind of making a pile of metal and stuff that won't burn or degrade. Throwing it here, I'll come get it later. I just had a hell of an idea. I could put my face on that sign and me pointing. Of course, I'll be wearing my Speedo. I just got a new one yesterday. Sexy Rooster gave me a patriotic Speedo. But I could put my picture on that sign wearing my Speedo, pointing that way to Ridge Hardware. We sell fun. Hey, that should get a lot of new business at our store. because I'm sexy and I know it. Or I could make that a political sign and do something similar to what Calvert County is doing, that one billboard I've shown you in the past, and I could make some political statements. And that's the first thing you see when you get to Ridge, because this is Route 235, and you've got to stop here at this stop sign and determine whether you're making a right or a left, and hopefully you make a left to Ridge Hardware. And that sign is placed right there. That would be beautiful. Okay, I know the locals will be talking now, because it's 5 o'clock. They're all getting off work. They're at the stop sign. They see some stuff going on, so they're probably wondering what's going on. So for anybody that is watching, that is new to the channel, that doesn't know what's going on, I bought this piece of property a couple of months ago. It's a commercial piece of property. It's about 1.5 acres here. My hope is to put the hardware store here, to put a new building here for the hardware store. That would be probably 2 years down the road. It's nothing that's going to happen immediately. There's still a lot of planning that needs to go into this. I'm not sure if the economics of it will work out. So yeah, we've still got to do a whole lot, but the property came up for sale. It's commercial property. It's great location, so I had to act on it. You know, I got it at a decent price. If we can't put a commercial building here, I can always build a house here, rent it out, live here, do whatever. You know, we have the property, so that's what our plan is, but we can do a lot of different things with it. In the meantime, all I'm doing is trying to clean up the first 50 feet or so here along the edge of the road. I want to get it to a point that we can keep the grass cut, and then, you know, keep these signs maintained. And then, of course, with it being political season, everybody wants to put campaign signs up. So, you know, I'll allow people to put some campaign signs up here as well. But, you know, I would like to keep it looking halfway decent, since this is we'll call it the gateway to Ridge. So I do want to keep it looking decent, maybe plant a few shrubs or flowers or something out here. I don't know, but at this point I just want to get it cleaned up and leveled off a little bit before I allow any campaign signs to go on here. I've still got to determine what I'm doing about, so these two signs here, they are actually permitted signs. They do have a thing on the bottom for a state permit. I guess you need a state permit to put up a sign like this. So I'm not sure what the deal is, if they are on the state right-of-way and that is allowed, or if I can make the decision on who puts signs there. My assumption is it's on my property, so I can determine whether those signs are allowed to be there or not. I've got to look into that. I'm not, as I said, I'm not sure about this right-of-way and how much the state right-of-way has. According to when I purchased the property, I asked the question, were there any agreements with the previous landowners concerning these signs? And nobody seemed to think there was. So I think the signs are just sitting here for free at the moment. So we'll see what's going on there. Okay, you saw Sexy Rooster. He came down to help me. There were a few branches I just couldn't knock down with the loader, so he got in the bucket and cut some branches for me, so I was able to clean up around the trees there a little better. It's a little muddy out here. So I'm going to let this dry out a little bit, and then I think I'll bring the skid steer up here and try to level this out a little bit. I've still got a few vines here and things to clean up. I've got a chunk of something over here. I haven't quite figured out what it is. I believe it's asphalt. It could be just leftover asphalt when they did this road 40 years ago and they just piled asphalt here. I don't know. Interesting. It's not, it wasn't wet over here. I was able to clear this out. There wasn't a lot of stuff here either, just a lot of underbrush here. There was one car, apparently, you can see how we're lined up with the road here. And I guess people aren't paying attention. We have blinking lights up there, red blinking lights facing that way. So when you're coming this way, you should see them, plus a stop sign. But there was a car, I think I remember it last year sometime. He or she must have been coming down the road pretty good, because they crossed that ditch and came all the way up here and landed, based on what I saw with the way the vines were mashed down, all the way up here. So that's a good 50, 75 feet after it crossed the ditch. But this is the kind of stuff I'm dealing with. There's a piece of a car there. There's some metal posts that I've been pulling out of here as well. The neighboring property, the owner of the neighboring property back behind here came out and talked to me. She showed me some markers on the backside. There's quite a bit of junk apparently that is on my property. I see one old car back there I'm gonna have to get rid of, just some other trash and junk as well. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's nothing that we're in a hurry to build here on. Just getting this part cleaned up for some signs. Okay, I've rambled too much. It's adult beverage time. I'm gonna say, see ya.